Hey my beautiful people, what's going on? Today I want to talk about how I got to where I am now. And I know what you're thinking, especially if you're a new viewer. You aren't anywhere special. You just have a few videos on a YouTube channel with no subscribers, with some pretty crappy art. And while it's true, I think I've improved my art a lot since those last speed paints, first off. And it doesn't matter how successful I am at the moment, or how successful I am in the eyes of most people. I am a success in my own eyes, and I'm going to make it even further and be a success for other people too. I wanted to start off talking today by saying where I am. I'm happily drawing. I have some of the best friends I ever have had in my life, and I'm a lot more confident. Maybe not the most confident in the world, but I'm definitely more confident than I was 3 years ago. And I think that I'm doing pretty well on the art side of things. And first off, I want to talk about where all this began, of course. When I was 9, I think, I was given a Kindle Fire, and I immediately went to YouTube to watch YouTube videos, because that's the only thing I wanted it for, because everyone at my school was always talking about YouTube, and I had never seen a YouTube video except for some that cousins or friends had shown me. And I'll be honest, I watched too much YouTube. I watched it all hours of the day. I stayed up too late, and it wasn't any good. But I did find, because of that, a YouTuber called Tyandega. He is a YouTuber who talks about My Little Pony, which I know a lot of people consider childish, but I don't really think it's childish, other than the fact that, it talks about friendship or whatever. But what makes friendship childish? Anyway, I found him, and he was talking about OCs a lot when I found him. And I loved My Little Pony at the time, and I didn't know that I could write things. I could make OCs for things that were already made. I didn't know about fan fictions and things like that. But he sort of showed me that, and because of that, I became obsessed with writing a My Little Pony story and making my own My Little Pony OC. And around the same time, I found an art YouTuber named Bailey J, and she's a really great artist. She makes some really high quality videos. Anyway, one day while I was scrolling through Bailey J's videos, I noticed a collaboration with another YouTuber named Art a la carte, and because of that, I watched her side of the video, and I scrolled through some of her videos, and then I found it. I found a tutorial on how to make a My Little Pony. Not how to create the idea or whatever, how to do the sketching part, how to draw the body and the face. That was really my introduction to drawing in multiple ways. It made me draw my Little Pony OC, and it made me learn how to really sketch, how to draw with shapes, because I had used how to draw books for years, but they never taught you how to draw with shapes, really. At least it never clicked with me in the books I was using. And, and because of that, I started really drawing. I found other art YouTubers, and I watched tutorials, and I borrowed a sketchbook from my grandmother to start drawing. And, people didn't really take it seriously. Everyone always thought, that I might be the one who ends up drawing in elementary school or whatever, but not beyond that one day I was working on it. That one art project, I put in the effort to draw the eyes like the teacher said to, or draw the nose like the teacher said to, or, to just do it So about a year and a half or so after I got into art, my dad came into mine and my middle sister's bedroom. I don't know what to call her. She's my second youngest sister. She's younger than me, and that's all. It's hard. I have a lot of sisters. Anyway, he came into our room one night, and he asked us, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And my sister said that she didn't really know. And I said that I wanted to be an artist, that I wanted to draw to make my money. And my dad got this look. It was sort of disappointed, but not so much. It's hard to explain, it really was. It was just this sort of sad and disappointed look. And they said, "Alright, well, if you want, why don't you go to this world-renowned high school for art?" And that felt really nice to me, that even though he didn't want me to be an artist, he would still send me to such a nice school for it. Later on, I realized, after hearing him and my grandma talk, that he didn't care if I was an artist. He just always thought, "Oh, she's going to be a lawyer and she's going to be so successful, and after her college fees are paid off, she won't have to worry about anything. She'll always be set." And honestly, he probably thought I was going to get a scholarship too. What I heard him and my grandma say was that, basically they were scared that I wouldn't be able to make a good living off of art. And they always were supportive. They just wanted to make sure that I would be okay. Yes, I am crying. I'm gonna cut out most of the silence from it. And there was none of that disappointed feeling on my mom's side, but there was some of the feeling of, just make sure that you can make it. And otherwise, everyone was really supportive. They immediately started buying me the things that I needed for art. And just the year that I got my computer, I got a drawing tablet for Christmas because that would help me on my journey. I guess that's all on my family for now. Maybe I'll talk more about it later in the video. I don't have a good segue. Maybe I would if I wasn't crying. Anyway, one day I saw a video by Tiny Dega that was about drawing your OC interacting with his. And it was a contest. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is such an easy way to get out there, even just a little bit. And he said that it could be submitted on DeviantArt or Twitter, or I don't know what the other options were, but I know DeviantArt was an option. And so I set up a DeviantArt account, and I submitted a comic I made of this really weird, completely undeveloped Undertale OC interacting with him in the drawing wasn't too terrible. It absolutely could have been better, but the comic was written so poorly. I thought it was such a good idea at the time. It probably was, but it was executed poorly. I don't have that file on my computer. I deleted it, and I also deleted it off of DeviantArt, so there's no chance of you guys seeing it. But basically, she threw him through a roof or something like that. Anyway, after that, I started really getting into DeviantArt. I explored a little, and I found this account called the Ara Bonehead, and it's not called that anymore. I'll put up on the screen what it's called now. And one day he started streaming, and I joined the stream, and I met some people. The next time he streamed, I showed up again, and this time there was someone called the Icewing Drawer on the stream. She was interacting with the chat a lot, and we ended up role-playing throughout the stream. And we ended up watching each other on DeviantArt and becoming friends, and she got me to make a Discord account so that we could talk to each other easier. And now she's my best friend, and I run everything by her. Every sketch I'll show her before I post it, or even if I'm not posting it, I'll show it to her before I continue, unless it's a surprise or something. And at almost every level, I'll show her a screenshot of the painting or the sketch or whatever it is at the moment. And she will always give me encouragement. Sometimes she'll say if something's wonky, but most of the time she just says that it looks great. She's just so supportive for me, and I don't know if I could be where I am if it weren't for her, to say to keep posting on DeviantArt, to keep trying to make speed paints, to keep doing what I loved, even beyond my family, because otherwise I wouldn't have the motivation to do it, because my family doesn't actively tell me those things. I have to ask them, and I don't have a way to send pictures to my mom, and it's not necessarily their fault all the time, because they all work all the time, and they have other kids to deal with. They aren't available almost 24/7 for me, and she is, because she's just a kid. She doesn't have a job yet, and especially in the summer, I basically just have to wait for her to wake up, and then I have her until I go to bed, unless I go to bed at 4 a.m. and she falls asleep before me, but that doesn't happen too often anymore. And I don't remember if it was through ICE or if it was through a stream or what it was, or I think it was through a friend I met on stream that I met someone whose internet name is Texana. I know her real name, but I'm going to choose not to broadcast it to the 5 people who see this. And we talked a lot with her too. Not so much anymore. She's older than us and she has life to do. I think she might even have a job now, but I'm not sure. And when things went wrong, she was always the one with the level head. She was the one who told me to snap out of it when I needed it. When I was more of just the timid one who was telling me it was okay. I think it worked well with both of them together. I don't know if that would have worked without both of them. I'm better now, so I don't need both of them at the same time anymore. But it worked really well back then when I wasn't okay all the time and I needed help stopping myself from doing things. And because of all these people, all the support, all the platforms like DeviantArt and YouTube, I've gotten here. I've gotten to making this video about where I am, how I got here, about the people I love and the people I look up to. And I've got 0 subscribers on YouTube, and that's okay right now. And that's okay, because I'm going someplace finally. I hope you all have a good day, and keep arting, my beautiful people.